Hi there. In this lecture we see a really exceptionally beautiful game, Akiba Rubinstein against Schlechter in 1912, San Sebastian tournament round 13. So d4 from Rubinstein, d5, knight f3, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, c5. So a semi-Tarrasch opening, c takes d5, knight takes d5, we have e4, knight takes c3, b takes c3, c takes d4. C takes d4, so black wants some simplification. Here, after bishop d2, queen a5 is actually an inaccuracy. It's better for black, it seems, just to take on d2, to leave the queens on here. And this is a small edge for white, but it's kind of limited. In the game, white actually gets a more significant advantage here after rook b1 with the queens coming off. So here we have bishop takes d2, check, queen takes d2, queen takes d2, check, king takes d2. So black has a problem potentially with the queen side, the queen side bishop, the entry point c7 as well. We see black castling, bishop b5, a6, so bishop b5 is teasing out a weakness. If knight d7 here, when I say teasing out a weakness, provoking a dark square weakness, if knight d7, this position is fairly uncomfortable for black. The king could even come to f4 here. This situation, white has an advantage overall. If bishop d7, white could just take and then take on b7. The rook's not trapped or anything. It's just winning lots of material. If b6, rook hc1, this way of playing it is interesting for black. But, again, it's better for white. Knight c4 is a great plan here for e5 and knight d6. So, for example, this position, e5. So the bishop can't take because the bishop takes a6. Let's say knight c7, knight d5. And you might think, well, black's got the d5 knight. Even here, white's better because white can now play bishop c4, eliminate the knight, just to be left with a better knight versus bishop. And white's got a big advantage here, winning material. So, yes, there's unpleasant scenarios here. a6 is just another, one of several unpleasant moves. Bishop d3 is played. If bishop a4, this will be a slight inaccuracy, giving b5 and bishop b7. White still is better, but it minimizes white's advantage. So bishop d3, we have rook d8. If b5 here, rook hc1, and the thing is, this position is just better for white overall. So rook d8, rook hc1, b5, rook c7, knight d7. So if bishop d7 here, yeah, this is just really a lot of fun for white. You can see that black's got real problems here. With king f8, king e3, this position, knight takes d7 check, bishop takes d7, there's rook b7 as example. And if the rooks come to the 7th, tying the bishop down to defend f7, we can see with e5, bishop e4, even simplifying here, white's going to have a lot of prospects to win a pawn. This is just clearly better for white as well. So knight d7 is tried, king e3, knight f6. Now knight e5, that extinguishes knight g4, that's one aspect. It looks at f7 though, so f7 is indirectly defended, bishop d7 defending f7, g4. So this is really interesting. So h6, f4. We have bishop e8. If rook ac8, rook bc1, rook takes this position, white's just playing rook a7 here. No problem. White's just much better. So bishop e8. And now g5, h takes, f takes, and that knight looks wretched on h7. Yeah, this looks like really unpleasant stuff. So, okay, we have h4, rook dc8, rook bc1. So, okay, one pair of rooks comes off. Rook d8, rook a7, and now f6. G takes, g takes. If knight takes f6, yeah, white can just take on a6. So g takes, we have knight g4. Bishop h5. And now, what would you play for 10 points? Yeah, knight h6 check. This gives a very nice f7 coordination. If we played rook takes h7, that would be a blunder, by the way, because this is not really doing anything. If king takes, knight takes f6 check, the king comes to hold the bishop, and black's winning that. So knight h6 check, king h8, and now bishop e2. So trying to lure the bishop away from f7, bishop e8. If bishop takes e2, knight f7 check, forking king and rook. Thanks very much. So bishop e8, rook takes a6, king g7, knight g4, and now we have f5, which weakens the dark squares and actually gives a route to the king potentially. These dark squares are a nice route for white's king potentially. We have rook a7 check, king h8. If king g6, knight e5 check. Here, bishop takes b5 for that fork again. You know, if bishop takes knight f7 check. Great stuff. So king h8, knight e5, f takes e4. If king g8, there's a good plan here. Can you see what it is for 10 points? Yeah. We can play bishop d1. This will be improving the bishop going to b3. And if we have the bishop on b3, yeah, this is just clearly better for white. So f takes e4. We have bishop takes b5, trying to get the bishop away from f7, knight f6. So again, you know, the theme of forking is here as well. So knight f6, bishop takes e8, rook takes e8. If knight takes e8, yeah, fork. Okay, so rook takes e8. Now, what would you play here for 10 points? So this is really marvelous, this phase of the game. So white to play, how would you play this? So we've got a lovely rook on the 7th rank. We've got a better knight than the opponent. We can improve our king further, king f4. We have king g8. If knight d5 check, king g5, rook g8 check, king h6 threatens rook h7 mate as well as knight f7 mate. So this position, you know, this is actually just mating, or knight f7 mate. That's checkmate. So king g8 is played, king g5, rook f8, and now just king g6. Black's had it. Black resigned here. If king h8, there's knight f7 check, king g8, knight h6 check, and here, what would be the key move, you think, to win this? For 10 points. Yeah, we can actually play rook g7 with the idea of knight f7 coming up. If e3, this is too slow, this pawn, knight f7 check, rook takes, rook takes. If e2, we can just take on f6 and then checkmate. So yes, this would be absolutely crushing. And if knight h7, we can just take there. Rook e7, we're getting behind the... we're checkmating. We don't even have to get to take the pawn. We just checkmate there. So yeah, a cute game, really cute game. I hope you enjoyed this one as much as me. So Schlechter, for some reason, felt his opening would maybe lead to equality just through simplification. This is a really bad idea. It's a really, really bad idea, it seems, looking at this game. It seems that white has certain positional trump cards here to play on, including more active rooks, invasion points, better king, potential for 7th rank control, potential for a king walk if any dark square weaknesses are created on the king side. So a very instructive game. I hope you enjoyed this game as much as me. And even Capablanca commented on this game really being, you know, beautiful and really accurate as well. And yes, modern engines, if you check this game with modern engines, the accuracy is really, really high. So a phenomenal game played in 1912. So no wonder Rubinstein won so many tournaments in 1912. That was his special year. What a fantastic game. Okay, thanks very much. All comments, questions, likes and subscribes, really appreciated. Thanks so much.